Hello, everybody. I'm David, and today I want to talk about Justice League, the newest film in DC's film universe. This is the fifth movie, I believe, following Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman from earlier this year. And I gotta say, this was a really fun movie. I really enjoyed myself quite a lot. Let's talk about the characters individually, because I think these characters are such a highlight in this movie. They kept me from enjoying this film from beginning to end. Of course, we got Batman back. Ben Affleck is great in this role. We saw the raging Batman in Batman v Superman, but now we get a little bit more of a lighter Batman, one who is thinking a little bit differently because Superman sort of inspired him to change his view of the world. And it was something that I really liked seeing from this different take of Batman, because I think it is a Batman we haven't really seen before. He is not like George Clooney's Batman. He is a Batman that's still badass, but he is going through things differently, the opposite way that he did in Batman v Superman. So if you're someone that didn't like the raging, killing Batman in that movie, you're going to be very happy with the Batman in this movie. I think he feels more like the Batman that many of us wanted to see. Even more so than Christian Bale's Batman, which I love Christian Bale's Batman. But I would say Ben Affleck's Batman had a little bit more in common, maybe even taking it to the next level. We also got Gal Gadot back as Wonder Woman, and she is gorgeous. She is amazing in this role. There are times where her line delivery, I'll admit, is a little off, but for the most part, she has such great charisma as this character that I think even for certain moments and lines where she might not deliver it as good as it could be, you forgive her for it because she's such a great presence when she does hit it. And she's just badass, man. How can you not love Wonder Woman? And then when she turns on that sweet side, it's like you love her because she's so great. She's so graceful, and she just wants to do the right thing. And in some ways, she might even share the leadership position with Batman in many ways, because she is the strongest asset of this team. And it just shows how great of a character that Wonder Woman is. And yeah, Gal is great as the character. We also get a really good highlight from The Flash, played by Ezra Miller. I love The Flash TV series. If you guys have been following me for like the last 3-4 years, maybe, ever since The Flash season 1 started, I've been doing episode reviews of every single episode of The Flash. And so the character that I've been kind of looking forward to the most in this movie was to see the movie interpretation of this character, Barry Allen. And they do give a little bit of his backstory in the movie. Not too much, because they probably want to save some more for Flashpoint, his Flash solo film. And Ezra Miller is great. He's hilarious in this movie. I love how he isn't the strongest member of the team, but he does everything he needs to accomplish what he needs to at the right moment. And you can definitely tell he's definitely the heart of the team. And in some ways, something a little bit different than some of the other, like, he's not like Quicksilver from the X-Men films or from the Avengers films. Flash is definitely his own thing, and I love it a lot. Jason Momoa as Aquaman was really cool. I'll admit I wasn't really a huge Aquaman fan, but I really love Jason Momoa as this character. He really brings this cool edginess to the character that maybe most other versions hasn't really had. And it shows that, hey, Aquaman doesn't have to be a dark character in order for you to really appreciate this character. He just has style. He could be a little bit of a jerk, but he's cool. And I really love seeing the brief moment in Atlantis from this movie. I really thought that world looked cool, and I can't wait to revisit it even more so in Aquaman's solo film next December. So that's going to be really cool. And then we also got Cyborg, the character that I don't think is getting enough love. I thought he was really great in this movie. And this is coming from someone who would have rather seen Martian Manhunter over Cyborg. Now that I look at it and how he fit into the story, I actually think Cyborg was a great addition to the movie, and he worked perfectly in the film, especially when it all comes together by the end. I felt worked. I feel like there was some stuff missing from his character, though. I felt like some development and story pieces from his character were kind of missing that would have helped bring his character's journey more into the movie. But from what we did get, I really did like Ray Fisher's performance as Cyborg, and I can't wait to see more of him. I can't wait to see more of these characters. Now, let's get on to this spoiler-ish, maybe, point of the review. I don't think it's a spoiler, but some people might think it's a spoiler, so if you want, just skip a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Superman is in this movie, and I think it's no surprise, unless you don't use your brain, you can't do a Justice League movie without Superman. I think the trailers made it obvious that they were hinting at stuff, that they were hinting at a return, and I think for that, I think Superman's role in this movie was much different than I was expecting. There were some things that I figured they would do, but then there were other things that I was like, that's the way Henry Cavill's performance was in this movie, you can tell this isn't the Superman that we had in Batman v Superman or in Man of Steel. This is a more optimistic Superman. It's like death changed Superman's idea of the world and made him a little bit more optimistic. And now that he's back to life, it's like he's not taking life for granted, which I really enjoyed. I won't say how they bring him back, because there is a way they bring him back, but I'll leave it at that. I hopefully I didn't spoil anything, but yes, I loved Superman's return in this film. So not to get confused with the Brendan Routh movie. Superman returns in this film, Justice League. And then we got the main villain, who you all probably heard right now. A lot of people aren't liking Steppenwolf. I'm going to admit, I didn't mind him. I thought I was expecting a lot more worse from him. Yeah, the CGI wasn't great in a lot of places. Specifically with him, he does look a little bit cartoonish at times. But I didn't mind that. Special effects don't bother me too much. But I thought the way the character acted was all fine. I didn't mind all of that. As I said before, the special effects in certain places, specifically with a specific character who you guys probably heard rumors about, who had a mustache behind the scenes and they couldn't shave it off. They had to digitally remove it. I didn't notice it in too many places, but there are a few places, specifically the beginning, where his face looks kind of warped, that once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But hopefully, if you're someone that doesn't try to look for it, maybe you won't be distracted by it. But in the beginning, I was very distracted by it. It did take me out of the movie and make me think, well, why couldn't they fix that a little bit better? But anyways, that's just me. The score was great. It was really great to hear the Danny Elfman Batman score and the John Williams Superman score in this movie. I thought that was a lot of fun. And Danny Elfman, I am a huge John Williams fan. I'm a huge Hans Zimmer fan. I'm not really a huge Danny Elfman fan. I liked a lot of his older scores, but I'm going to admit I really enjoy the score that he gave to this movie. Maybe it is part of the reason, like bringing back his Batman theme and bringing back the John Williams theme, that kind of made me appreciate the entire score a lot more. But it did have a more classic superhero feel to it. I think that's what the score gave to it. Where if you listen to the score of the Dark Knight trilogy, or even the first two Zack Snyder DC films, they definitely have a more modern score vibe going on, more of an action movie vibe, I guess, with a more epic tone. This gives us a more classic superhero score, I feel, and that's why maybe a lot more people will gravitate towards this score a lot more. If you really like a lot of the Avengers films, the MCU films, that's what this movie tried to emulate in some ways. It's not 100% feeling like a Marvel movie, but there is a little bit of that touch. I don't know if it's because Joss Whedon directed part of this movie, but then again, there are parts where it does feel like Zack Snyder, and I really enjoy that. I thought the two directors, I thought it would be, because I heard a lot of mixed things. Some people didn't feel distracted, didn't feel the movie was disjointed. Some people did feel that way with two directors. I'm on the team that did not feel that the film was disjointed. I did not feel like it was filmed by two different directors. I felt the whole movie was one cohesive film. So that's just me. With that being said, I am going to end this video here saying that I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. I really had a blast with it. Is it the best DC film to date? DC Universe film, whatever you want to call this universe. I will say no, it's not the best one, but it's not the worst one either. I think this is one that will live up to a lot of fans' expectations. Not like high expectations, but like it will satisfy you if you are a DC fan. I think this is a film that, if you are someone that did not like the dark and dreary tone of Man of Steel or Batman v Superman, which I did, I enjoyed both tones. You are going to be pleasantly happy with the tone that they give to this movie. It is not a dark movie. It's a more fun film. And if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. So hopefully you guys are satisfied with that. If you are someone that liked the darker tone, there are still some dramatic moments. They don't, like, not the whole film is jokey. There is fun banter throughout the film, but it's not like over the top comedy like maybe Thor Ragnarok was or Spider-Man Homecoming was. This was more in the league of a typical superhero movie, and so one that knows how to balance the drama aspect with the comedic aspect, and I think that's what a lot of people wanted. So with that being said, I'm giving this, I think I said my score already, but I'll say it again, 8 out of 10. So comment below if you've seen Justice League, talk with me about it. Subscribe to my channel if you are a huge fan of these superhero movies and shows like I am, and like this video to support me, guys. And until next time, take care.